Here's more wrestling news for February 26, 2026. Your headlines for this afternoon include CM Punk fires shot at Reigns' work schedule, Rhodes says he's entering final contract phase, why WWE allowed the surprising on-air comments, British Bulldog's Hall of Fame ring stolen in trailer break-in, Styles aware of major AEW offer before Hall of Fame reveal, and more. CM Punk isn't waiting for WrestleMania week to turn up the heat, he's already going after Roman Reigns. While speaking to Metro UK, the WWE World Champion took a clear shot at Reigns' part-time schedule, making it personal ahead of their WrestleMania 42 clash. At this stage, if you have thin skin, I don't think you would have made it to this stage. You gotta realize that to entertain people, you gotta say and do things that would sometimes just entertain yourself. The championship is important to me, and it's important to him, but there's so much more when it's personal. This is very personal. I'm sure it's probably going to get more wildly personal whenever he decides to show up for work. That last line says everything. Reigns is advertised to return this Monday on Raw, and fans are already calling for WWE to dial up the emotional intensity. With WrestleMania 42 approaching, some critics feel the show lacks deeply personal rivalries, and Punk just handed the creative team a spark. Despite headlining Night 2 of WrestleMania 42 and sitting firmly at the top of WWE, Punk is still facing another familiar question: retirement. And he's clearly tired of it. I get it every other question. Hey, when are you gonna retire? It's like, well, slow down. Like, I look at a guy like Rey Mysterio and he's timeless, and he inspires me to put my boots on and keep going. I love the fact that I'm back and looking forward to the future. Gordie Howe played in the NHL until he was 52, and he's Mr. Hockey, you know? I try not to put a time limit. I try to never say never anymore until I'm known as Mr. Wrestling. By referencing Rey Mysterio and even hockey legend Gordie Howe, Punk made it clear he's not putting an expiration date on himself. The retirement chatter surrounding names like Punk, Brock Lesnar, and Rey Mysterio may dominate online discourse, but as long as they can still perform at a high level, they don't seem in a rush to walk away. Now the real question is this: when Roman Reigns shows up on Raw, does he fire back, or does Punk's "whenever he decides to show up to work" line become the defining narrative of this feud? Cody Rhodes isn't leaving the door open for speculation, he's closing it. During a Wednesday appearance on Unsportsmanlike, the former undisputed WWE champion addressed retirement rumors and contract chatter directly. While he admitted he doesn't have a specific end date mapped out, he made one thing very clear: the next contract he signs will be his last, and it will be with WWE. He didn't hesitate when asked about his future. I don't have an end date like I used to. I do know that whatever the next deal that I sign with WWE, I ain't going nowhere. That deal will be the last. That's as definitive as it gets. With Elimination Chamber set for Chicago this Saturday, Rhodes isn't winding down anytime soon. He'll step inside the chamber alongside Randy Orton, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, LA Knight, and Jey Uso for a guaranteed undisputed WWE Championship opportunity against Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Do you think Cody Rhodes retires on top as a champion one more time, or does his legacy go beyond titles at this point? Let us know below. Last month at the Royal Rumble 2026, AJ Styles put his career on the line against Gunther and came up short. Just like that, one of the most decorated careers of the modern era ended exactly 10 years after his shocking 2016 Royal Rumble debut. Appearing on Raw Recap, Styles was asked why he chose to retire at the Rumble instead of holding off for a potential farewell match at WrestleMania 42. His answer raised eyebrows. It was coming back from an injury to WrestleMania to a match that, to me, didn't have much build. WrestleMania, I'm sorry to say, used to be the most prestigious PLE, but to me, it's kinda lost its luster a little bit. As far as the Royal Rumble, that's special to me because that's where I made my debut. To be able to end where I started is poetic. While Styles emphasized how meaningful the Royal Rumble is to him personally, his comment about WrestleMania losing its luster stood out, especially considering WWE allowed the remark to air unedited. It's rare to hear a top star openly critique WrestleMania's prestige, even in a reflective content. With John Cena reportedly being considered as the one to induct Styles into the WWE Hall of Fame, the narrative becomes even more layered. Cena headlined multiple WrestleManias during the era Styles referenced, and their rivalry remains one of the defining chapters of Styles' WWE run. Whether fans agree with Styles' take or not, one thing is clear: he chose to close the circle on his own terms. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Paul Heyman isn't thinking about slowing down anytime soon, but he is thinking long term. Over the past week, Heyman has openly discussed WrestleMania strategy and even floated the idea of Saudi Mania as a future tentpole event. But in a new interview with Metro UK, the focus shifted from WWE's future to his own. When asked about retirement, Heyman didn't hesitate. "Well, I don't think I'll ever retire, but I'll be semi-retired by then and be jetting in from Costa Rica or some villa off the coast of Italy." That wasn't a throwaway line. Heyman made it clear that even in this so-called semi-retired phase, he would still be shaping WrestleMania main eventers behind the scenes. "And as I'm jetting in for these major events, the main event of WrestleMania will be prepped for. That main eventer will have been taught how to be a WrestleMania main eventer, will have been enticed to continue on his path of being a Paul Heyman guy to the main event of WrestleMania." For Heyman, the legacy isn't just about his own on-screen presence, it's about building the next generation. He expressed pride in the talent he's currently aligned with, suggesting they'll dominate WrestleMania for years to come. "So I take great satisfaction in the fact that the people that I'm surrounded by now will be the dominant main eventers of WrestleMania for at least the next generation and into the next generation after that." When pressed on what semi-retirement would realistically look like, Heyman painted a busy picture. "Semi-retirement for me would probably mean writing, producing, directing a couple of movies a year, creating a streaming show or two, maybe get into, finally, after all these years, the podcast business. Semi-retirement just means semi-retirement from WWE, but I mean, we're talking at least 15 years from now." And in classic Heyman fashion, he closed with confidence and a warning that he's far from finished. "I'm just getting started at this. I'm just understanding the magnitude of the greatness that I put forward, so for me to even contemplate slowing down is unfathomable at the moment, but at some time, I may just want to enjoy one day off per year." At 60, Heyman clearly isn't mapping out an exit, he's mapping out expansion. Whether he's mentoring future main eventers, producing content, or reshaping WWE's biggest stage, he sees himself as part of the machine for at least another decade and a half. An unfortunate break-in has left a WWE Hall of Famer's most meaningful possession missing. Davey Boy Smith Jr. was staying at a hotel while working for Canadian Wrestling Elite when the incident occurred. During the stay, the CWE crew became victims of a break-in with multiple valuable and sentimental items stolen. Canadian Wrestling Elite alerted fans through Instagram, confirming that several belongings were taken from Smith Jr., including his wrestling gear and travel bag, a gold chain, the Hart Foundation leather vest, the CWE Tag Team Championship belt, and most significantly, his father's WWE Hall of Fame ring. In their statement, CWE wrote, "Need help from my friends and followers in the Lloydminster area. The CWE crew who performed last night were the victims of a break-in at their hotel. Sometime early this morning, someone broke into their trailer and stole the following items: the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s wrestling gear and travel bag, Hart Foundation leather vest, British Bulldog Hall of Fame ring, gold chain and jewelry, CWE Tag Team Championship belt, RCMP have been called." The stolen ring belonged to the British Bulldog, who was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2021 after originally being announced for the 2020 class before pandemic-related changes delayed the ceremony. The British Bulldog tragically passed away in 2002 at just 39 years old after suffering a heart attack while on holiday. His death shook the wrestling world and remains one of the most heartbreaking losses of the era. While wrestling gear and championship belts can be replaced, a Hall of Fame ring tied to a family legacy carries immeasurable sentimental value. With authorities now involved and the appeal circulating publicly, there is hope that the stolen items, especially the ring, will be recovered. Anyone with information has been urged to contact local authorities. AJ Styles may be headed to the WWE Hall of Fame, but if things had gone differently, AEW was reportedly prepared to make a serious move. According to Justin Barrasso of Undisputed, Styles was well aware that All Elite Wrestling would have made him a substantial offer if he had chosen to wrestle outside of WWE. The key detail, it reportedly would not have required much time away from home. Barrasso wrote, "For as much as WWE claims to be blissfully unaware of what is happening in AEW, that isn't the case. With Styles getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, it severely limits any potential AEW owner Tony Khan had of bringing Styles in for a surprise appearance at the Revolution pay-per-view in March. For AEW, their post-WrestleMania show is Double or Nothing in May, and even that feels too soon for Styles to appear. He further clarified that Styles was not actively shopping himself around, but he knew the opportunity was there. That isn't to imply Styles was looking to wrestle again. He meant what he said about spending time at home with family. But speaking to a few people close to him, Styles was well aware that AEW was willing to make a substantial offer, and it was likely going to be one that wouldn't cost him much time away from home. That changes the context. Once WWE publicly announces a Hall of Fame induction, it becomes significantly harder to envision a short-term jump elsewhere, especially with Tony Khan reportedly interested in a surprise appearance. Still, nothing in wrestling is ever 100% final. Paul Levesque has openly stated he would like Styles involved behind the scenes in some capacity, and Styles himself admitted on What's Your Story that most wrestlers reserve the right to come out of retirement at least once. The question now becomes simple. Does AJ Styles' legacy feel more complete staying exclusively tied to WWE, or would one final surprise appearance elsewhere have added another layer to his story? For all of our subscribers, don't miss the 9 a.m. Eastern video we dropped earlier today. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.